It's just my name, Instagram. If you want to follow me, it's at Jerome Zoran, and I'm talking about lapis and shungite and sound. I'm just a little bit preoccupied because, would you have it? We're now live on YouTube as
Oh
well.
my goodness. That's what I mean.
So yeah,
Such incredible work by Jerome helping me and
yeah,
us helping each other actually. We're a family, Sophie, my daughter, me, Jerome, and more we're coming sort of onto the scene together. Jerome is an amazing sound healer, so is Sophie. And so she's also an amazing counselor, Sophie. So yes, we work together. So
there's a
yes.
lot of magic coming.
So I think Jerome might be putting some music on now. He's got a very lovely looking kind of machine here, and he's got
Yep.
a mic in his mouth. That looks like he's going to perhaps do some transmission himself.
I do have a mic. So yeah, basically it's a very exciting time because for about the last year we've been creating with Chung Fu incredible, amazing transmissions that really, I haven't really seen out there. And I think we can all see that there is so much incredible gifts and of course bigging up everyone's gifts, but in my view, the way that Chung Fu brings things is just so unique. So I'm quite excited today to really hear what Chung Fu is going to be bringing forward. And yeah, Mum wants to wave at everyone.
I just saw all those waves.
Yeah,
Very
we'll
new at
wave.
this.
Yeah, well, hello everybody and welcome.
Yes. Thank you
So,
so much for coming.
how this is going to work is we're going to play some beautiful music and we're going to drop into a deep space and we're going to start to this is a didgeridoo drone in F sharp, so it's a heart energy.
And I think probably while Jerome's doing the music, I'm going to go into outer space. Is that right, Jerome?
Yeah, we're going to
And
start
basically,
dropping
I'm going
in.
to call in Goddess Isis and the Lady of Avalon of these lands, and I'm going to ask her for a blessing for us all. And then after that, Chung Fu will come in, and well, it's a new moon, it's a new day, it's a new time. Who knows? I don't know exactly what he will say, but I know he's been really wanting to come out and talk to you. So I welcome all your guys. I welcome the deep space in your heart. I really encourage you to relax, breathe, get comfortable, and receive. And I love you. And this is my greatest pleasure, is to feel the spirits coming in to connect with you today. And I will see you later.
So for those of you on YouTube, if you want the full experience, it's on Instagram. We have Sacred Sound. I will upload the replay to YouTube of this live stream. And yeah, what a powerful time as well on this new moon, new beginnings, so we can build a new life. So if you're on YouTube, it's the Oracle, it's the Avalon Oracle.
No, just Avalon.
No, I've changed it.
Oh.
It's now the Avalon Oracle.
Didn't tell me.
Yes.
Breathing you in, beloved goddess. Isis, Isis, Isa, Isa. Thank you.
And as Isis comes in, just feel yourself really tuning in to your heart space. And we're quite excited because we're bringing something that has been a long time in the making. And if you're in a safe space, as long as you're not driving, just feel your beautiful chakras opening, tuning in to your sound as well as you hear the goddess singing. She's already coming through, Sally. You can feel it. Allow yourself to sing along. It's such a powerful thing to open the voice.
and some of my so you so Shunam tanama patois kadatois kadam taratas ruskite. Ons matare koetaram tikadesis. Ondare do kois karates karatodam tararam. Tulaner skoreta iskaitaranamai. So enamai. So Matam tertois karates. Takar atos tretskir tantumeti. O handare hokoiskirin tator tikiskortas kede hon another dagos kede skarato tatriska anumatar thoha rik asik romat kede that the heart already at the heart already me diskoradas kede getem tertom ato hetor amnato skidem tuskara skora atar diskori hadurdanam torakadar degeroram matar legeskoram Tika hadar hode tuthkiranam diskare de gotarte och saha kotakete unnamam taro ja taroyan uttarana matare ko ja taranema genom taro koitarskoliska Tiko atarte gosh Tiko namator atarte Tiso ahadar öti esko adar nemato iskere My beloved daughters and sons of my heart, I am Isis. Know me. I am mother of creation. I am the womb of light. Know me within you, my beloveds. Know me as the love that is in your heart. Know me as the breath that you breathe. Know me as the blood that runs in your body. Know me as the love in your heart, beloved. Know that we are one, that you are the manifest appearance of my being in unique form, that there is none like you, beloved. Each one perfect, each one filled with gifts and blessings, powers and qualities. Each one loved deeply and held in my heart as the jewel that you are. Within you the jewel shines. I see you. I see your light. I know you. We are one being. When you open to me, beloved, I come. Closer and closer I come, the more you open and expand to embody me, to embody all of you who emanate from the source. For I am the source, beloved, within all that is, within the world of light. I am divine mother, one with divine father, beloved, one being. Understand who you are, dear ones. You who are drawn to come forward. You who are radiating your love that is becoming one in this dimension of earth. You who are taking the time to present your light to the world. Know that I am within you, one with your light. That you are within me in the worlds of light, open, receiving from the source, the power, the inspiration, the love that is the truth of your being. It is why you are here upon the earth at this time, when I am coming forward in many forms through many vessels, Those who have been in my temples, you remember me, for I walked upon the earth, beloved. You know me. I manifested myself amongst you. Remember, you come from timeless time. You are infinite, beloved, each one, each soul infinite. You have within you all that you need in order to manifest your soul's purpose in this life. And we, beloved, we the oneness, we are working with you. For as you come forward, you create pathways for the light to shine, to radiate, to expand out and out into the physical dimension where many of your brothers and sisters, beloved, are asleep. They have forgotten. It is time for the great awakening. It is beginning now. For many of you, it began long ago, even before this life, you arrived here awakened. And for some, beloved, you have heard me recently in your timeline upon the earth. Beloved, where I am in the source of creation, there is no time, only now. And within you, feel that place that is timeless. Feel the place of the vastness of your spirit, beloved. And know that you are trying to bring this vastness into your mind, your heart, your body. Allow it. Let it stream. Let it flow. Open up. Relax your body. Open your heart. With no effort, beloved, I am within you. Just open and receive me as I receive you. Feel my blessings. For you are my blessing, beloved, that come forward into the world. And I bless the world with your presence. And I bless you with my presence. And we are one. Feel my love. I am under you. I am within you. I am all around you. And I am flowing into you from beyond the physical plane, where we are one. I love you, beloved. I love you. We are one love. Blessings and peace. Thank you, beloved one. Jerome, thank you for your beautiful transmissions.
Peace.
Greetings to all who are gathered here now or in the eternal now, upon the earth, perhaps tomorrow, perhaps a year's time, but it is still now, beloved, that I come forward to speak to you from the beyond, from the source place of your soul, from the place where we who are the ascended beings dwell in timeless time, watching over you, coming forward in your physical time when we see that there is opening, that hearts and minds are calling for us to come forward, to tell you what we can see, to bring you what we know from ancient lies. On your timeline long, long ago, Chung was here upon your earth. I have had many times upon the earth, not even within what your history calls memory. I have been there before that. We are creator beings, and many of you gathered here also. You know things you cannot remember. You are made of energies you cannot necessarily define nor contain within your mind, coming from the source, the divine mother, father, goddess, God of creation. Understand these energies are within you. You are that which you are made from, the light, the cosmic, solar logos, light of creation, Christ light, light of transformation, light of becoming the divine being that you are. And may the living spirit that is that light shine and bring forward into your human being, your higher self, your ascended self, that part of you that is one with the divine, to illuminate your mind, lift up your thoughts, help you to maintain that high frequency of your multidimensional self within your human brain, within the thought forms that you hold, and that then become manifest, and bring into your heart strength, courage, confidence to face the negativity and all that challenges you in this dual plane. In this time upon the earth where the negativity has reached ginormous proportions, and you come forward as a great team, a great company of humanity from the higher realms of consciousness to manifest your power of transformation, to be co-creators with the divine and angelic beings of this new earth. We call upon your higher self to enter into the cells of your physical body, bringing that light extraordinary, that light supreme, that multi-dimensional presence, to enlighten yourselves to be the conductors of the spirit power into your body, to walk that power upon the earth, to feel it pouring through your hands, your heart, your eyes, your ears, that you are vessels of divine consciousness. It is why you are here. It is why you are here to honor Chung Fu today, as I come forward to honor you. For we are the honoring of the divine presence upon the earth that has been forgotten by so many and purposely suppressed and hidden, shrouded in lies, in deceit. And we are bringing it forward, beloved, that all may remember who they truly are, that have emanated from the source divine. For every being and every planet and every star emanates from the divine source, but falls through the frequencies, and then there is separation, and there is forgetting, and then there is everything that you are aware of in the duality of the lowest dimensions here in the physical plane. And here in the physical plane are the greatest tests for your souls. And we call all your guides and helpers, for they are evolving by helping you, as you are evolving by helping others. And Chung Fu and all the ascended beings always still evolving, beloved, as we come forward to serve you at this time. This is a very special time in time and space where you have chosen to dwell, where there is yesterday, there is today, there is tomorrow. Time that passes, time that you spend like an energy that you can feel has a kind of finiteness, because you know about death at the end of some definition of time that you are within. And so you feel within you this container called life, this measure of time within which your soul has a purpose to bring, to manifest here within time and space in the physical dimension. You are the keepers of time. You are the seers of spirit within time and space. You are the bringers of the new dawn here upon the earth. It's all within you. You can feel it. Your soul vibrates. Your soul recognizes each other. You know when someone is in the same frequency and vibration as you. You can feel all of nature around you. We welcome the great beings, your ascended ancestors who are part of the great councils of light. We welcome the angelic and archangelic beings, pouring their energy, protection, healing, blessings, and love, especially into the souls of humanity, but everywhere upon the earth, into animals, into all the elements. We welcome and we honor the Christ light, the solar lords and deities who are the emanations of the Christ light. Divine feminine, divine masculine radiance, emanations of the light of the Creator Supreme. Mother, Father, divine. Within each one of you, these energies flow. We welcome the beings you work with and weave your life with, that are the nature beings, the beings of the elements of earth and air, of fire, water, and ether, the beings who give you special powers, gifts, blessings, and qualities with which to work in your life. Beloved, should I be seeing something here in the...
There's a microphone here.
All is well
Yeah,
here.
all is well,
Peace, beloved. Thank you. And so it is that I invite all the spirits of the surrounding nature physically here and physically where you are. Think of them, and in one moment the spirits will be with you. The spirits of the earth, the animals, the serpent beings and all who creep and crawl within the earth. Spirits of the air, the birds, the insect davers, they have special qualities for you. They lift you up. They connect with the stars and with space. Feel the power of the beings of the air. Feel your own element of air as you breathe this power in and become one with the spirits of the air. Feel the inspiration coming into your mind. Open up your mind to let your spirit speak to you. We welcome the spirits of the water who flow, who teach you to flow within yourself, your emotions. They help the flow of your blood. They help to purify. Feel the intelligence and the wisdom of the water beings. Feel the water in your own body and know that you are made largely of water, flowing, changing every moment, no moment like the last moment. We welcome the water beings, the whales, dolphins, the seal, the otter, and all the fish that swim in such wonderful, great, incredible harmony together. We feel the oneness of the water beings flowing together, how one drop of water contains the energy of the whole ocean or river or lake. Feel that truth within your being. You who are one drop of the essence of the source of creation, yet you are all. You are the all-in-one, beloved. Feel the vastness of your soul. Feel the power of the spirits of fire, the spirits of the sun, spirits deep within the earth of the fire that has been poured into the earth, that is the living force, the power, the chi, the life force coming into your body, warming your body. Feel the power of life. And feel how you have the power to transform, how the element of fire changes form from wood to ash. And changes also your emotions. When you offer them to the fire, they can be transformed. Feel the divinities that work with the fire. Feel the dragons, the phoenix, the firebird. Feel the power of the fire within your own being. Fire in your belly, fire of passion in your heart. Welcome, welcome to the elements of fire. Feel the presence of the ethereal beings who dwell between the worlds and help you to connect to these primal elemental spirits and powers. Feel the presence of the fairy folk, the elven people. Think about them for a moment. See them if you can in your mind's eye. Give them some love, for they bring to you a lot of power, gifts, blessings, qualities to help you connect to the world of spirit around you, of which you are a part and who you have come to serve. We welcome all the spirits of the earth that are plants, flowers, trees, standing people. Give thanks for food, nourishment, healing, and medicine. Give thanks for the power of the rock beings, stone, crystal, metal, mineral beings, and for all they do to support you, to bring nourishment into all of nature, the mineral realms nourishing all of life. Feel the great mother who nourishes all of life through all her elements. We give thanks to the crystalline beings who hold knowledge deep within the crystalline matrix and translate it into the light of the Akash, crystalline dimension of light. In the sixth dimension, the Akashic records store all that has ever been physical, manifest, storing it as light. So that if you need to understand your purpose, your soul's purpose here upon the earth, you call to the Akashic record keepers. Ask your guides to bring you the understanding into your body, into your DNA, as instinct and intuition. For you are connected to your highest level, to your multidimensional self, to your crystalline being. We give thanks for life. Give thanks for all that comes forward to you, all the gifts, powers, and blessings of all these beings who surround you. Take the time to open up, feel them, honor them, love them. Just as they bring their energy to you, share yours with them. Feel yourself in the great weave of multidimensional life, of a multi-expressional life here upon the earth. We give thanks for each life as each one evolves and brings the divine light into being upon the earth. We give thanks for the Christ light, the solar logos, overarching protection, presence and power, bringing you love and blessings, peace, grace and beauty, bringing you power, strength and wisdom, inspiration, healing, and the compassion that is the divine presence, divine feminine, divine masculine presence deep within you. Blessings and peace, dear ones.
Blessings and peace.
It is a joy to see you, dear ones, to feel your presence, you who come now in this moment as I come through this vessel, and you who come later, who are also in my heart, every single one, as you come forward. I see you, I honor you, for you are seeking, you are opening up, you are questing, you are expanding. That is what needs to happen. When you arrive in your physical body, so much happens. Before you even know it, it's happened.
There's a drink here if you need it, just in case.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You do not know as a little baby, well, your mind is not yet fully functional. You know, there are some who come, perhaps you know that some come and are very immediately functional. But that is very rare. Mostly, each one is awakening, is coming forward into the world as a small child, a little baby, and gradually as life evolves, becoming aware, starting to think, starting to feel. And of course, the karmic circumstances which you create for yourselves make a lot of difference to what happens in those early days and ongoing through childhood, teenagehood, young adulthood, right up to now. And as you awaken and you realize some of what has happened to you perhaps hasn't really been ideal, hasn't really been easy to deal with at all. Some of you may have experienced intense, deep trauma, real abuse and suffering, beloveds. Most of you have some experience of wounding. And so it comes about that one of the most important stages of your spiritual evolution is to understand yourself, to see what's going on inside. And you become aware that there are many different areas or angles to your experiences in life. Excuse me, dear ones. You have the angle of the literal physicality of events. You have the physical, the sensual things that have happened to you, maybe physical abuse, maybe even sexual abuse. Then you have the emotional repercussions of that, what you feel about what's happened, because usually as a small child, you're not the one who arranges everything that happens. You're just going along. We're going on a picnic. We're going here. You're coming to bed. You're going. You don't say what happens. You might fight it a little. You might not want to go to bed and so on. But you're always in this situation of others being more powerful than you. This has an enormous impact upon your soul, because you are born to be self-directed, to be liberated, to be powerful, to be present, to be connected to your divine self. And so anything that gets in the way of that, anything that kind of shuts you down, hurts you, prevents you from being your powerful self, even as a baby, is going to make a negative impact upon you. And there are many philosophies that have been brought forward about how to deal with you when you're a baby, when you're a child, when you're a teenager. I'm sure you're very familiar with many different approaches. What you have to understand is whatever the approach, you get to a place eventually, and some sooner than others, some even at the age of 3, demand that they shall be in control of their life, that they shall not be told what to do, that they're not even a child, in fact, doesn't your mother or father realize that you are completely self-determined and you know everything. So this can start very early, but certainly by the age of 7 or 8, 2 things have happened. You have in fact been, in that sense, downloaded into, by those in your environment, parents, sisters, brothers, teachers, have all downloaded some content into you. You also have your own programming that comes in from your soul. And so you have a mixture within you by the age of 7 or 8 years old that you don't necessarily understand and isn't necessarily leading you to a harmonious and easy expression in your life. And life goes on though. Or sometimes it's so extreme that your parents perhaps do get some help to help you understand some of the complexities. But this is, again, not common. So you carry on. And through your teenage years, more happens that you don't necessarily understand, and on it goes. Until a point where you realize, actually, I need to understand what's going on inside myself, because I'm quite confused. I'm a bit lost. And I'm feeling quite shut down. I'm feeling a bit disabled, traumatized. Something's not right. So you seek some help, some assistance. And again, there are so many modalities of the way you can be assisted to understand what is happening within. Of course, I am working with your spirit. I am overseeing the fact that whether your spirit can express the truth of your being, whether you are emanating your true light, whether you are able to, or whether there is anything that is kind of pinning you down, holding you back, stuck, entrapped within you. And the thing is that most of you who are light workers, healers, seers, teachers, leaders, in order to perform that function which your soul has given you, which is your dharma, your purpose, there's a lot for you to understand, both in the world around you and in the world within you. So as Chung and ascended beings come forward, and those who are connected with the divine source and bringing forward the light at this time, the most important thing is to liberate you, is to open up the deepest places where the power is, and allow the energy to rise up within you. And we can say it is the Kundalini, the power of literally the life force within you. We can use all kinds of words. We can say it's about opening your chakras. But what matters most of all, it's about liberating your soul from all kinds of trauma and events that have held you back from expressing the fullness, the beauty of your being, the power of who you truly are. Over time, I have worked with many souls, both women and men, and we have gone together into the depths of your being and found aspects of you that you have lost, that got left behind, that somehow hid, sometimes very intentionally, and so many feelings deep within you that have never been expressed, that need to be expressed. For you have feelings because your soul is speaking from deep within. When you have negative sensations, when negative self-image and self-feelings about yourself are really strong, it is because something has been impacted upon you, because your nature, beloved, is love. Your nature is freedom. Your nature is to emanate the light of your true self. It's why you're here. So what we can say with certainty is that the soul's evolution depends upon the liberation of your soul from that which holds it back from coming forward. And that within your soul there is a blueprint put there by your higher self as you incarnated. Sometimes you incarnated fairly fast within a few months of being conceived. Sometimes you didn't incarnate fully until much later on. There are many events that can happen both during pregnancy and during the time of birth that mean you don't fully come in. You see things and you think, oh, look at that, oh, I wasn't expecting that to happen. I'll just wait a little before I fully bring all my power in. But of course, what happens then is that that little baby doesn't have all of you in him or her. And so that again, you have to come back and heal. And we have to do a lot of soul retrieval, really from the early times of your coming into this physical universe. Because the soul is a very powerful, obviously it is the director in that sense of your physical life, but your soul contains itself the blueprint of your divine essence. So your quest, your purpose is in this unique way, in this life, to encounter, to meet, to absorb and understand everything about often many other lives that you have come here to heal, to retrieve, to embody, to understand, and to then come through and bring that divine luminescent being to express in this physical body, in this emotional body. And it is, beloved, a deep journey. That is why not everybody is necessarily saying, I am going to manifest my soul's purpose. But you all are. Because you're here. And what that means is that you are very interested in the inner truth of your being. That is my name, Chung, inner truth. I've taken an astral incarnation to speak through this vessel, to come to you in person, to talk to you one-to-one, to help you go deep, because it is the most demanding work. The spiritual journey, although it yields the greatest rewards of bliss, of oneness with the divine, of peace, of deep capacity to love, of extraordinary experiences of oneness, of deep understanding that is beyond the mind. Yet it is a very demanding journey. And so through my work with you in this modern time, because remember, when I was upon the earth, the challenges were the same, but the ways of the world were very different. It was much slower for a start. What I find with my beloveds is they don't have a lot of time. They can't spend the hours in meditation and contemplation that I spent in the times of my ascension, my lifetimes of enlightenment. They weren't happening at the kind of physical pace that is now prevalent in your world. And one of the reasons it's like that is you have a negative force that has been bombarding consciousness upon the earth for many hundreds and even thousands of years. And I'm sure all of you here know that. And so what I'm really bringing forward to you is ways to, I don't want to say speed it up, but because you go at your own pace. Some go slower, and that is perfect. Some go a little faster. But the point really is, it needs to be the pace that you choose. And so I bring forward ways for you to work on yourself. For that is what it's all about, beloved. You've come to earth to transform at a soul level, to bring all of you in. It's so exciting. Because when you feel all of yourself in, you are joyous, You are happy. It doesn't mean everything has to be perfect, but you feel right. You feel in the right place at the right time. You feel guided, you feel at peace. And above all, you feel the love deep in your heart. Love for yourself, love for your partner, your family, love for people. And you are able to forgive much more easily because there's a lot to forgive in your world, beloved. So this really is what I am talking about today. How can you free yourself, both from events that have happened in your childhood or even in another life, or even from the consciousness that you find yourself in? The ocean, in a sense, is, it is a divine ocean, but within it you find yourself in eddies of negativity that swirl you around and you can't get out into the vast ocean of bliss to cleanse yourself, to purify. You know there's a possibility. You know you can heal. You just need to find the way. And that is what I am passionate about for you, beloved. Bringing you ways to work, ways to go deep for yourself. There's a lot of therapists, wonderful therapists in the world. I'm sure that all of you have met them and are yourself therapists, in fact, in your own expression, your own way of working. Because healing is what you came to do, both on yourself and others. And healing, of course, means to become whole. Exactly what I have been talking about, to become one with your higher self. That is definitely your mission here upon the earth. And so you have, in that sense, manifested ascended beings who are coming forward into your world, because this is such an exciting time. Portals are opening, codes of light are expanding within the earth, energies are rising from deep within the great earth being, and also from the stars, from your sun, from beings coming forward within your reality from other parts of the universe. You are living in extraordinary times here upon the earth. So I know that within you, one of your greatest missions and purposes is self-transformation, because you know that if you transform, if you understand how to do that, you can help others. And you can certainly see, looking around you in the world, a lot of transformation is needed. We could say, in fact, that the whole paradigm that you were born into is changing right now, and a new paradigm is coming in, and you're bringing it. You know it, it's inside you. You don't want this way of working anymore. You want a different way. So I'm going to stop for a moment and check in here with Jerome and ask you, beloved, yes, tell me, what
Wow.
have you been doing of late, Jerome?
Well, it is a very exciting time.
I work with Jerome. He's always talking to me. He's as inspired. He comes out, this or that is really important, because he knows people. He works with people on the earth, you see. So I really want to acknowledge Jerome as such an important co-worker with Chung and angelic beings. Peace.
Thank you.
Mm.
I think it might be awesome just to talk to people about, well, it's my job to, yes, come up with ideas and brainstorm, and in that way I'm a deep thinker. It's probably part of my Virgo nature. But, I think it's exciting today, particularly because we are bringing forward a way of working on the soul. And it is a method, actually, because there are ways and methods and, even deeper ways to go more into this whole area. But what I'd love to really ask, particularly right now, because I want to honor people's time, is, what would you say the true energetic nature of, can we talk about the energetic nature of ancestral ties and why you feel we must, in that sense, consciously release them to become more sovereign.
Well, I think everybody on here understands the power, of the ancestors. You know, in indigenous times, when they spoke of the spirits, they really meant the ancestors. They were absolutely clear that the beings, that were still there, that were their ancestors, that carried the wisdom, ancient beings that went back centuries. They called them in. All the indigenous people, they really honored their ancestors. Now, presently, you're in a very strange paradigm where even the old ones, you who are the grandmothers and grandfathers, you're not really honored unless you're part of a community, a new community, like such as the one we have here, where, of course, the great change is happening, the great awakening. But I think the awakening has started for you to realize, yes, when I call in the Great Spirit and your guides and helpers, I call in your ancestors. And I also call in your ascended ancestors. Because, of course, you have ancestors that do not incarnate anymore. And yet, the energy of them, you can call it in. You see, and that really matters, that you understand you are connected. And here we speak of, if you like, the spiritual bloodline. And we understand the power of the blood that carries the DNA of the ancestors, and why you choose different bloodlines in different lives. So when now you who have come forward through many lives call your ancestors, you're not just calling the ancestors of this bloodline, you're calling and opening to the ancestors of all your lifetimes. That is an extraordinary realization when you have it and you open up to it and you realize, well, I'm connected to pretty much every nation upon the earth. So you don't just sort of come into one culture and come into that culture lifetime after lifetime. There are lessons that you decide to learn in many different cultures. And so when you speak of the divine, which is a word I use because it crosses all cultural boundaries. The divine is known and the ancestors are known in all cultures, indigenous or modern. So this is really very important work to understand what you carry within you. You are an individual, you are a unique being, but also you are here, you could say, representative of and honoring of all your ancestors. You couldn't be where you are if they had not been forward before you. And some of what has happened to those ancestors is remarkable, wonderful, and uplifting, and enlightened, and brings you the power of the divine, of the Great Spirit. And some of it really brings you down, and is what Jerome is talking about with the ties that bind you to what's in your blood, what's in your body. And you could say it doesn't matter how much you think about it, you've got to get inside it, you've got to feel it, you've got to go down. And that's really the work I'm bringing forward, to help you go in, to actually feel what's holding you back. And that, of course, if it's negative, you're going to be resistant to it. Nobody wants, to have the feelings, the pain, the trauma, really, that you can kind of sense is in the background of your family. You don't want it. In fact, some people just leave the family saying, I'm just leaving, I'm not, but actually when I come to meet them, the ties are inside. They're really not just about leaving on the physical level, although sometimes that's very necessary, but they really are inside. And so until they've realized they're carrying that energy inside them, they cannot really be released. So this is inner work, really, that I'm bringing forward to help you really rise up from any place where you're held down by your ancestral ties. Peace.
Amazing. I'm really interested in, of course, the sight of an ascended being. Like, I think that's the gift that Sally has, that she's bringing in, your presence. But what is Chung Fu seeing in terms of when we talk about ancestral ties and these repeating same emotional patterns that most of us are experiencing in this transformation, what does that actually look like from where you dwell?
Well, of course, I have the Akashic Records and the Akashic Record Keepers, and what they do is they bring me images. They bring me literally scenarios. When the person comes forward, I immediately they create these pathways. I go down them and I see this being in another life, in another appearance upon the earth, and it is shown to me how this energy is still carried in some way in that soul and is being brought forward because it is enlightening. Ultimately, everything that your soul decides to look at, to enter into, is for your highest good. You just need to support yourself and realize, well, yes, I am bringing this forward. It is from a past life, or it's from the earlier part of my life, but I am not that. I am the living spirit. I am my higher self. I am coming in with my spiritual vision, and that is how I can help you, is to bring that overview, that oversight that can look in your highest frequency, and that light, that beam of light can go and kind of, you could say, pick up the part that is holding you back, that which is either in your memory or it is impacted into your body, an experience that needs to be released. It needs to be brought back, remembered, seen, honored, in that sense loved and accepted, and then given either to the fire or to the sun or to the dark crystalline entities, put into the earth. There are so many ways that you can dissolve the darkness that is held within you. Peace.
Amazing. How would you say someone is able to tell if the pain they carry, that they've been carrying for a long time, isn't really theirs but potentially inherited?
Well, the thing is, it is theirs. It becomes theirs. So it doesn't, it doesn't really, yes, it's emanating from another place, and that's important to see. But really, you have to start from the place of I own it. This is in me, and so for whatever reason, I have decided to, from that higher part of my perspective, that is my higher self, I've downloaded this ancestral pain. I've decided to come into this bloodline, and the reason will always be that you're the one who can clear it. So yes, you can say it comes from the ancestors, but in that decision to incarnate into that bloodline, it's like you're jumping into the bloodline. You're saying, all right, well, it's in me now, it's in my DNA. I'm all right, well, I can see where it comes from, and I realize I have to have a lot of compassion for the beings that I have come forward to be a part of within the bloodline, but I am owning it. I'm not going to push it away. I'm going to move it through me. In that way, you also release, of course, the ancestors, because it's all a flow. Everything you do, it repercusses into 7 generations behind you, 7 generations ahead, because it's a flow. And as you move the energy, it's incredibly powerful. Just seeing it, owning it, saying, all right, it's in me. Yes, I get very, very triggered and angry. And this or that really, I feel like I want to murder someone. And then you realize, whew, what a powerful, oh my goodness, I didn't think that could, and you realize with some of these very extreme reactions, that's exactly how you know when it doesn't feel like you, but it's you. And that feeling is in you. And yet you can't really accept it's you. And that is when the work has to be done, when you realize, all right, I'm carrying an ancestral energy, and I'm going to meet it. I'm going to have a meeting I'm going to call the ancestors in. I'm going to ask them to connect with me, connect with the fire. Together, we are going to take full responsibility. We're going to have a look and see, well, what has happened as a result of this. We're going to bring in the souls that perhaps were harmed by some negative element in the ancestral bloodline. And we're going to bring forgiveness. We're going to bring love. We're going to bring healing. And we're going to put this ancient rage, which we might explore going further back to understand why. Why did they carry this rage? And we will see that there have been injustices. There have been an even earlier history and reason why this rage is within the bloodline. And we will notice that things in our own life have, in a sense, reminded us of this. You know, we have a kind of echo. It's like a bloodline echo where something similar is either in your view or is actually happening or almost impending to happen in your own life. But with this understanding, with this objectivity, with this understanding that you are the highest self and you have this purpose to heal, you understand the oneness, you also understand that you are a unique being and you are singularly, as you might say, connected to the divine source, and you can bring that light to bear over the whole over this bloodline and other bloodlines that have contributed. Then you have power to change, to transform totally, and to transform your ancestors.
Amazing.
It's all about consciousness, beloveds.
So for those that are new to Chung Fu's work, Chung Fu is an ascended being, and what that means is that he's had every incarnation in the human earthly planes, and that means literally also everything else as well, from plant to fish, dolphin, bear, wolf, rock, crystal, tree.
As you.
I'm very interested, as I am a man, and I'm learning to become a better man every day and stronger, and I have amazing brothers, and I have lots of sisters. We got 10 brothers and sisters, actually, different mothers. And so as you know, I've been on a journey, and I'm talking to Chung Fu. Chung Fu knows I've been on a long time journey with my own father line. But I'm very interested in some of the lives you've had incarnate on the earth plane as a man. I know in your last life you were in India, and you had incredible healing powers, and you were able to biolocate and be in multiple places at once doing healing work. But I'm particularly interested in your insight really for the brotherhood of, and
because of course I was not always a man, beloved.
Of course, yeah, you've had lots of different lives, but I'm very interested in what it was like for you in some of your more struggling lives as a man, and how you overcame those, and really, because we're talking about a new methodology here, which I am calling the tie cutting method, and we do have an incredible offer today, very exciting. I've literally been working day and night for probably a few weeks now, and the whole year on this new way of working. But I am interested in how these journeys were for you, and what were some of your hardest points, and how do you see that for men in this modern day of this evolution of technology and spirituality, and how we can, in a sense, raise our frequency and develop our crystalline body with sound and crystals and with all of these teachings. How can all of this, in a sense, work for us as men? And your journey, really, a little story of your journey in that sense. I'm asking you to pull it from the Akash, something for us brothers.
So you really are asking me only for the life that I have lived as a man?
Just maybe
because
one
I don't
that was
want to say that.
One that was prominent where you learned.
Oh, one life only.
Yeah, well, we're probably not going to be going live for like many hours, although that would be nice. Just something that can help the brothers to get a little nugget or a leaf or something from Chung Fu's book.
All right, beloved. Well, I have had very many lives, and so we could be taking from earlier, much more primitive lives, but I think really I evolved just like everybody from those very primitive lives, having different incarnations into all kinds of elemental realms, deep into the earth. I've also been in the Pleiadian star system, the Arcturian star system, so I've been in other places in the cosmos as well. But really, we're talking about some later lives, perhaps when I was really coming in to work on specific aspects of the masculine energy. So I'm going to come forward to Tibetan lives, because those were lives which I knew would be very, very demanding and require me to purify, require me to look into every possible place where I had not brought in the fullness of my being. And so I had several incarnations in Tibet. And the one that I think I will just speak of today, I was born to a very poor mother. I wanted that because I wanted to be in the monastery, and I knew the traditions of the time would be that I would be put in the monastery very young. I was 4 years old. I was brought up by some very kindly, beautiful monks. Some were quite young, you know, sort of 12, 13, and so on, right up to the very oldest Lama, the Panchen Lama, who was very ancient at that time. I mean, he was over 100 years old, and I adored him. I mean, I really adored him, and of course, quietly he adored me. And I was brought up by this one, and you know, we were telepathic. I learned to be telepathic at a very young age. He would talk to me by kind of nodding, and I would just know that what he meant was, could you go and get me some lotus tea, you know, or could you go and get me a leaf from the garden, you know, that herb, the one, you know, the one, the blue flower, and I would learn telepathy, and I would bring, sometimes I would bring the wrong thing, and I would know, and oh, he would just sort of, he'd have a sort of look on his face, he wouldn't say anything, but I would know I got the wrong flower, and I learned in this way. I adored him, absolutely adored him. And I learned everything telepathically. The teachings that were given were so subtle. And I learned to telepathically inquire into the minds and hearts of everyone. And in the end, when I say in the end, by the time I was considered kind of mature, which is around the age of 14, 15, I was able to heal the mind. You know, I had this power to heal the mind. And what I mean by that is to heal the mind of extraneous thought. So I would know when a monk was not, in a sense, opening and bringing in his higher energy. I would know when he was off on some little kind of mental wander, and of course there was a lot of that. And the Lama, he would say to me, you know, obviously never in words, but always telepathically, just go round and, you know, I'm going to let them know that when you sit at their feet, they need to get regulated. They need to bring in, you know, that the reason you're sitting, that you're going to sit at their feet until they're back into their transcendent meditation, you see. And so I did that. And everybody was so kind to me. I don't know why I had those powers, but I did. But you see, the story really is here. It is a teaching. Because I also, with my human self, you know, I was sent out on missions to help people out in the villages, and I would take food and medicines, and I would go out into the villages, and I met, oh my goodness, I fell in love, beloved. I fell in love. And so, of course, the Panchen Lama knew exactly what had happened when I came back. And he had me sit there. I sat there for 6 hours, and I had my basket of, you know, I just came straight in because I knew he'd call me in because he'd seen it. Even though, you know, he didn't know, but he did know. He knew everything. And I sat there, and I had this feeling inside me, and it was a kind of sinking feeling. I sank. I was just sitting there, and I had never received this from him. But what he was saying to me is, look, beloved, you have to understand there are different kinds of love. And this kind of love that is in your body, you have to come to a very deep place and you have to transform it. And I was kind of sitting there. I didn't really even know that I'd fallen in love. I only knew it really retrospectively. This was one of the biggest lessons, beloved. So what happened actually? You see, we had a part of the monastery where the women could come, where the girls could come. And so he said to me, beloved, you will see, I will help you transform this love into a transcendent love. And that, I didn't really know what he meant because I never had this experience before. I was actually head over heels besotted and completely and utterly, what's that word? Obsessed. She was just in me, and he could see her in me. And so this was one of the most powerful teachings that I had in that monastery, was how to transform the love that was in the root center, how to bring it up, how to raise it up, and how it became the most transcendent, blissful, extraordinary love. And for her too, because she was destined, in fact, to become also a nun. That was a different calling. They started in our monastery, then they went to their own monastery. And she was so happy. And we always connected. And I learned so much. And some of what I teach today is to help you as well, to have the bliss of the oneness connection inside you that is not distracted or pulled away by the appearances that are so, in a sense, seemingly going to take you to where you want to go, but they don't. They take you oftentimes away from yourself, away from your power, because that is what had happened. And that was why the Panchen Lama knew I was, obsessed, because he could see a huge kind of hole in my field where all my energy had gone to this beautiful young woman. And he didn't want that for me, and he didn't want that for her, because he knew we were destined to have a greater love. And that is not to say that you shouldn't have your wonderful love affairs and that, it can be combined, but it's to bring in to your life of love your ascended, extraordinary oneness nature. That is my purpose, beloved. Peace.
Would you say there are similarities in that story, in that way of how, in a way, the ties were formed immediately upon seeing such beauty?
Literally, immediately.
And that, many talk about, there's a lot of talk about divine union. I mean, it's everywhere.
That's where I went. That's where we had the most exquisite relationship of love. I was her lover, yet we never did. We did not create the physical bond in that life, but I came back and I married her in another life, beloved. And we had that because we had in that sense formed that in that way deep within our souls. And when we met again, it was bliss. From the moment we met, we had many children, we had a blissful life. It was also in Tibet, and it wasn't that far from that monastery, which we visited every day. Peace, beloved. So yes, the lives are connected, and we had, we could say, an energy that we had created, and this happens to many of you. You evolve, you have enlightenment in another life, but then you want to experience different types of human situation. You want to bring your energy to people, so you decide to incarnate as a human being that isn't enlightened. But then what happens is gradually that enlightened part of you comes in, and that is part of your higher self, and shows you how to free yourself from the ties that bind you, that stop you from having those blissful oneness experiences in your life.
In that sense, we are also creating powerful bonds and ties then. So I think that's the methodology, isn't it? That we're bringing forward a way to have powerful connection.
Well, we're bringing the bonds of love, of supreme love, which is a different bond.
Yeah.
It is a oneness bond of the divine masculine, feminine within the source of our beings that we bring, download, you could say, into the parts of us that have not understood, have created false ties or ties that bind in a way that that imprison you, that bring your vibration lower, that gives away your power, that or even takes the power of another by mistake. So, this is the thing. It is a cleansing, a purification to tie cut, to remove, to understand and recognize and clear the ties that bind you to the negativity and bring in the oneness bonds of love from your higher self. Peace.
And in that sense, there's a lot moving in the brotherhood around the Father, isn't there? And there's so much in that sense work that, if you're fully alive and you know, then there's a lot of work to be done.
Well, the thing is, what's happened on the earth is that there was so much power, and it was divine feminine, divine masculine. The indigenous people knew how to be in the nature, in the beauty, in the simplicity of humanity. Star beings as well came to earth with ascended understanding of union between the divine masculine, divine feminine. But also what came was a false light, was a fallen consciousness that had forgotten the divine, that was shell-like, empty, hungry for the light, not conscious, and then becoming willfully disconnected from source. And that, thousands of years ago, in fact, was the beginning of the demise of the beauty and oneness of the union of divine feminine, divine masculine. And there came about fear. And both the feminine became afraid of the masculine, and the masculine became afraid of the feminine. And a war started, a war between the two, rather than there being beauty and oneness and surrender and honoring and adoration, mutual adoration of divine masculine, divine feminine within the form of the physical. There came about disempowerment, there came fear, and that happened in the matriarchy. There were matriarchal times that also went out of balance. And then, much later, basically the male consciousness started to fear the power of the feminine consciousness, and so started to suppress the feminine, started to gag the feminine, started to abuse the feminine, take the power of the feminine, and that then led to, of course, then the demise also of the divine masculine, because, well, there is not one without the other. If one, in that sense, defiles the other, then they are also defiled themselves. So what happened over time in the patriarchy, because you're living now at the end of a very long, thousands of years of what we are saying is patriarchy, which doesn't mean it's only men. It's also within the women, the patriarchy, and the patriarchal view or attitude. And so the women also suppress each other. They have that place of wounding equally. That is, we said about the ancestral lines, well, it's very much coming down the ancestral lines. And so now, in your time, we really have to understand the wounding that has happened, both within the feminine, those in the feminine bodies, and those within the masculine bodies. And you know yourselves as how much there is of kind of gender manipulation going on because of psychological type of content that isn't really understood, often by women or girls, men or boys. And so, it really is time now to reclaim the divine masculine, the divine feminine, and come to peace and come to healing, and really bring now consciousness into the heart, because there's so much wounding, not only in the feminine, physical, emotional, mental bodies, but in the masculine also. There's so much damage, and there are many archetypal ways that expresses. And indeed, Jerome, you have done a lot of work on your own father line.
Yes.
So maybe you would like to speak a little of that.
Well, sorry, I thought that was my alarm just went off. That is our chicken alarm to go and put the chickens back in the coop down at the land. I would love to say as well, I'm very excited because we have manifested some land, and moving forward, we're going to be inviting people from all over the world to enjoy events and beautiful offerings that we have here. But yeah, my own journey has been very interesting in that sense. It's been very multi-layered. I've come in from so many angles, from the mind, from the lower mind, the higher mind, from the heart, and from my emotional body, from my fire, what I call my fire body, my air body, and my earth body. And yeah, of course, like I'm sure most of you, like I love my dad, just love him so much. But there's been a lot to clear, and I think that's really why I've created these offerings, really. We're calling them toolkits, and I've just actually finished the second toolkit, which is all about the father line. But this first toolkit, which I will say I'm quite excited to share this now, and now is that moment. So you can go to tiecutting.com to check it out. And also you can now, it's been a little minute to figure it out, but you can now comment on this live tie cutting and you will get a message. I'm sure all of you are familiar with these all of these ways by now, but yeah, it's an automation that I've set up using ManyChat. You can indeed just comment tie cutting and you will get a message, and yeah, you can go deeper with us. There will be a private WhatsApp group, and yeah, it's my intention to serve you in this way, to bring you really all of our gifts. It's really, well, one of my gifts is I am humbly, I am a bit of a super producer, so I'm producing Chung Fu in high definition. The voice sounds very clean and very warm, and well, of course, the transmissions are, maybe I'm a bit biased, but they are rather unique. So this is a very powerful offering called the Sovereign Self, Ascended Master Chung Fu's tie cutting toolkit for energetic liberation and soul wholeness. This is channeled through literally 50 years of deep trance mediumship and a journey that Sally has been on with Chung Fu. And yeah, there's just a lot in here. I'm gonna just say a little bit. There's basically 21 sacred guided journeys here and practices. There's attunements and activations from Goddess Isis. There's basically introductions from Chung Fu on what tie cutting is, knowledge and understanding of tie cutting, the elements within tie cutting. There's teachings on ancestral tie cutting, and there's a practice. There's inner child tie cutting. There's a tool for that. These are tools that we're basically building. There's a tie cutting tool for healing the wounds of sexual abuse. There's tie cutting tools for spiritual energy around unification, with a loved one. There is being young, thriving, and earning a living. So often, most of us, when we leave home early, and the parents are like, off you go now, go get it, go make it happen. There's often things we've taken on at a deep level that need to be cleared, messaging and programming, things that have been said to us, things we've seen and observed. There is healing the mother parent from the wounds of the child. That's one tool. There's healing the wounds of the mother. That's a practice. There's so much in here. There is also the love for the brotherhood here. So there's the father, strengthening the father and fatherhood here. So Chung Fu goes deep on that one. And I felt, there actually wasn't enough for men, although this whole tie cutting is also for men. It's neither one nor the other, of course, but I actually went even deeper, and I think that's from my own journey around my own fathering in my life. And I I talk about that in my own work with my clients. I call it refathering. Um, I've actually developed another toolkit which is around the father line. So yeah, I'm very excited about this. I also have a special collection of sacred sound journeys that I'm calling the Mary Magdalene and Yeshua Sacred Sound Collection. You will get as well as a part of this incredible toolkit. So yeah, it's exciting.
It's very exciting, and I thank you so much, Jerome, for all the work that you have put in to make this available to these wonderful people. Peace, beloved.
So yes, indeed, you can. If you're on YouTube, just comment after the live and just say tie cutting, and we'll happily send you the link. But you can go to www.tiecutting.com. So if you are in America, it's and I think I'd like to just maybe finish up and ask you about, because cord cutting is, of course, very well known, but tie cutting is, yeah, it's
Yes, I have purposely used a different word because it's not the same. Of course, there are some elements of similarity. There are some elements that we could say, well, that's very similar. But really, I'm looking at the soul upon the earth, and I'm looking at reconnecting to your soul purpose. I'm looking at liberating you from the earthly element that pulls you back, that ties you down in your emotional, mental, subconscious, and physical experience. So really, it is more. That's why we called it the sovereign self. It's more about soul liberation and becoming the fullness of who you are. So that's really what it's about.
mm,
So I think we should give a blessing now and let the man
yes,
go, don't you, dear one?
that's right.
You've been here quite a
you've
while.
been here with us for a long time. Thank you so much for
Thank
being
you
with
for
us.
staying. We give thanks today to all of you for your attention. We thank your guides and helpers for their presence here in this temple of light. We thank your ancestors, your family, and your relations, and especially your ascended ancestors and the councils of the light, the star beings, extraterrestrial and intergalactic beings. We thank you for being here as well with your beloveds upon the earth at this time. We give thanks and we honor the Christ light, the solar logos. We thank the cosmic solar lords and deities, divine feminine, divine masculine radiance of the cosmic central sun of creation. We thank all the elemental beings, spirits, powers, and deities of earth, air, fire, water, and ether. We give thanks for all the gifts, blessings, qualities brought forward for your evolution, for the upliftment, for your highest good, for all the ways you weave together this great web of life. We give thanks to the beings who dwell within the ethers, the fairy folk and elven people, pixies, gnomes, leprechauns. We give thanks to the great Mother Earth for her energies, for her love, for the life force that emanates and supports you, your life upon the earth through her plants, her flowers, her trees, her standing people, bringing you food, nourishment, healing, and medicine. Through her rock and stone, crystal, metal, mineral, give thanks, especially to the crystalline beings who hold the Akash, who bring your stories into the realm of light that is the crystalline dimension, or the Akash. And we give thanks for the overlighting protection around each and every one of you, for the love and the blessings, the solar logos presence, the great one holding all, holding you safe, bringing you beauty, peace, love, blessings, grace, bringing you power, strength, wisdom, inspiration, bringing you from within compassion, love, and healing. That is the divine presence deep within you. Great love to each one of you, and farewell this day of your life on the outside. But feel me, because I am present within. And when you call to me, I am with you. Blessings and peace, dear ones.
Blessings and peace, and so much love to you all. We're just going to enjoy some sacred sound, and maybe we could sing a chant for Tara, Chung Fu.
Well, we do one or the other, beloved. Yes, which one?
We'll do a chant for Tara,
And then the sound.
and then I'll do sound on the way out.
Om Tara. Do Tare Turi Swaha. Om Tara. Do Tare Turi Om Tara. Do Tare Turi
Blessings and peace.
Blessings and peace.
So Chung Fu's going to fly back to the high realms, beautiful realms, and Sally's going to come back in.
Peace, the be a same to stay in, beloved.
Ah, peace. So we're just going to play a little bit more sound. And we are going to do another live. And on that live, if you have any questions, we're going to let the energy build for this transmission. And we're going to allow the beautiful comments and questions to fly in, DMs to fly in. And then we're going to do another live stream, so keep your eye out for that. And we're going to do some just some sharing of this, and then we're going to invite 3 people on live to ask questions live. So that's what we're going to do. And if you've been with us on YouTube, thank you so much. I see that there were quite a few of you on YouTube with us the whole way. So thank you for that, and sending you so much love as well. And yeah, again, just comment on the video, tie cutting. You can also go to www.tiecutting.com. And we're going to just tune in, come back to our own heart space, and feel all about our lives and our missions, goals, and dreams. And we're going to just enjoy some pure sacred sound for this new moon. Feeling your inner child. Feel everybody that you love. And feel your heart just opening even wider. And feeling your love going to everybody. Because really that's what it's all about for this transmission. Strengthening the bonds of love and cutting the ties that bind. Feeling all of the magic of all the beings we work with, and feeling your heart space, just receiving that blessing and that sound. And we thank you so much for being with us today. To go deeper with Chung Fu, you just comment Thai cutting on this live, or you can go to www.thaicutting.com to learn more. It's that simple. So much love.